Hello, Mac again, and playing a little playthrough of a little game called Bobble, which I was first made aware of with its inclusion in the Big 20, number 18, which took place in the start of March 2024. Bobble's quite a quaint little game, this is. I'd actually just muck up some settings and have to pause and restart. So this isn't the actual proper start of the run, so to speak. But yeah, it's quite a quaint little game. I suppose you could describe it as a platformer, sort of, based on kind of water physics and exploration. You sort of go through this sort of almost temple-looking area, using the water to sort of manipulate your bubble, I suppose, which can only survive underwater. Well, I say only survive underwater. Predominantly will float on the water. The first upgrade you pick up here is your iron ball upgrade. Well, actually, it's your sink deeper upgrade that you saw me pick up there, which changes the colour of the bubble when it goes underwater. But I didn't think it fitting to do a split for that when I was doing my splits while speedrunning this, because it is only the first 13 seconds or so. This little jump here, that jump is probably the hardest thing in the whole speedrun, at least to do consistently well. There is a little bell that you can get on the right hand side, which will serve as a sort of checkpoint. But if you're trying to beat this game as quick as possible, you would ignore it and just hope you can get that jump first time. Otherwise, you would probably just reset and try again. These little tube parts, you can lose a couple of seconds here if you don't hold the direction that you want the bubble to travel in. And here's a neat little trick I learned from Grayskull83, where you can just fall directly into the path of the tubing and get sucked up. Saves you a good, I think, maybe 5 seconds or so in reaching your second upgrade, which is the iron ball. This upgrade will allow you to bounce off surfaces so you don't immediately die if you just come out the water and hit one of the solid rocks. Very recent game, this to the SNES library. It was released in November 2020 as part of, I think it was some kind of NES game development competition. Morphcat Games is the developer and the publisher. So yeah, I think it's basically a homemade game. A very cool sort of showing of what the NES can do, even in 2020. This is a very, very neat little game, and I did enjoy it. One of the ones that I sort of learned, first off when seeing the games list for the Big 20, just because it looked so unusual. Obviously, I'd never seen it before, and not your everyday game, Bobble. Certainly, you don't see many games like this. Now that you've picked up that iron ball upgrade from earlier, you're able to break through these blocks, which will allow you to head on your way. I knew at this point I was about 15 seconds ahead of my normal pace. Wasn't too sure exactly where I was gaining that time from. I suppose the skip straight into the piping would be the biggest part of it, and also that little hardest jump in the game, getting through that first time. Could have also probably, if I'm being really particularly pernickety, could have saved a second or two not getting that last checkpoint, since I was going for out and out pace here. There is a way that you can skip a whole minute off the time that I eventually get here by avoiding this bell as you jump out the water, dying once you pick up this double jump upgrade I've just picked up, and then warping back to a much earlier bell in the level. But doing that jump on the screen I've just passed and not hitting the bell is incredibly difficult to do. I did experiment trying it, and I could only do it like maybe 1 in every 10 times, so I just, as much of a time save as that would be, just for consistency's sake, I just go with the sort of standard route through that you would go through for finishing Bobble. Of course, if you don't know the route, this is the sort of game where you could end up in just a bit of a loop-de-loop, as it functions as a bit of a maze, just going around endlessly. I did, I will admit, watch a long play of it on YouTube, as part of learning the route for the Big 20, since I had 20 games to learn in just over a month. So I didn't want to waste too long trying to naturally explore Bobble, which is a shame, because I did have a fantastic time with it. And I must check out, I think Morphcat Games have another game out called Micro Mages, which was actually released before Bobble. I don't know much about it. Appears to be on the NES and on Steam, so that might be worth checking out, especially given how much of a fun time I had with this. I think the record time I was seeing for this was I think 4 minutes and 6 seconds, which obviously involved using that bell skip I was speaking about earlier. But I was nowhere near that time. I was very happy. Initially, I was very happy if I could beat Bobl in 6 minutes, but I managed to grind down the times more and more. And I would say this run, other than maybe like a couple of seconds here and there, maybe skipping a bell or two and maybe optimizing some of the jumps, this was about as good a run as I could have hoped for. And it was quicker certainly than I did on Big 20 Day by a good 20 seconds or so. And I think 5 minutes 9 seconds would actually be my personal best for Bobl. So there you go, nice little quick fun game of speedrun. You just sort of learn the route and then execute it. And yeah, I had a good time with that. So thanks for watching. That's been a quick speedrun of Bobl. And I'll be back posting more video game videos, well, whenever I can. Till then, bye.